Welcome to This Week in Guns, a podcast that covers the latest commentary on the firearms industry, news, information, and buzz, brought to you by the Firearms Radio Network. I'm your host, Jake Challen from Gun Guy Radio, and you make this show possible. That's right, you listening right now make this show possible when you shop Amazon using our affiliate link. And every time you do that, a small portion of your sale goes to supporting pro-gun shows like This Week in Guns.
And an angel gets its wings.
And yeah, that happens too. We have a great panel joining us. Peter Palma, the inventor of the MS Clean kit, which you can also buy on Amazon, and I have an affiliate link for that in the show notes. Hey, Peter.
Hey, what's going on?
So you launched your 2.0, the double. What's this all about? You got a Kickstarter going on?
Yeah, well, we did another Kickstarter because we were so successful with the first one, and it's just a good way to do it to get it out as fast as we could. And it's for a double thick MS Clean kit and case and trauma kits and all kinds of other things. And there's even a fight soap hygiene kit in there. So I'm stoked about that. And we're doing pretty good. We haven't made it yet, but we still have some time, and we made a good first leap into it.
Very cool. You put the down payment on the yacht yet?
Yeah, right now I'm waiting to. We're waiting to pay back all my student loans that I've put into the company first, and then we'll go from there.
And we have John Chaos with the I'm with Chaos YouTube channel. Hey, John.
Hi, Jake. How are you, buddy?
Hey, you got the sexy radio voice going on.
Is that what we're calling it? I'm not so sure.
Well, glad you could join us. And we have Ebbs from House of Guns. Hey, Ebbs.
He's chugging. Look at him.
Hi, Jake.
Staying hydrated. That's a good thing.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man. I hope everything is good over in Illinois.
Just really, really cold. And we have Josh Cast of Four Guys Guns. Hey, Josh.
Hey, Jake. Thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here. And
for those not watching live, he was muted the first time he attempted that, so that was that much more funny. So let's get right into the top stories of this evening. Federal court upholds
I don't know that
Aren't you a radio host or something?
It didn't take long, did it? Upholds a magazine ban of any mags holding more than 10 rounds. This is in California, and actually the first two stories are about federal court rulings for the unfortunate residents of California. This has to do with a 10-round limit that Sunnyvale, California put in place, and the three-judge appellate court panel found that it does not violate the Second Amendment. And so this includes magazines that were grandfathered and or used by retired police officers as well. So pretty much blanket ban on 10.
Even the ones that are stamped military law enforcement. Wow, that's crazy.
What's interesting about this is that it basically says they can confiscate those magazines. It's not that that there's a ban, sure, but this says that they can confiscate them, which is a bigger injustice on your personal space and your property. I don't know what happens in the great state of California, because there are so many freedom-loving individuals out there, but what in the actual curse word is going on out there? 66% of local voters voted for this ban. What's happening in Southern California? Somebody explain it to me.
Well, it's Southern California.
I don't understand, though. It's still America.
Yeah, but that's not where the freedom-loving people in California are.
Yeah, I don't know. I lived in San Diego for a bunch of years. I even worked in a gun shop in California, which is going to come up on in the next article. I never understood. I could never understand California. Everybody who's freedom loving like we are, thinks, oh, California's such a horrible state. Like, you just think of California, how horrible. It's actually a pretty awesome state, minus the way they think that way. And I haven't really been able to put my finger on why exactly they do that, other than maybe it's like trendy like whatever happens to California eventually will work its way to Illinois.
Well, and we see we see a huge population of gun people, even products coming out of there, but it's also an enormous state. Wasn't it like the biggest state before Texas joined the union or something? And
I mean, maybe by area. Well, LA's pretty big.
Well, population is up there too, though.
Yeah.
And so we can still see in our community a huge amount of people say, yeah, we love freedom, we love guns, but they're unfortunately still outnumbered. And I mean, how many people get to vote that? I'm not going to go there.
Yeah, California is the most populated state currently with 38 million people.
I mean,
yeah, but it's a huge state too. Like if you wanted to drive from the southern tip of California to northern tip of California, it would be like 15 or 18 hours. It's huge. It's an enormous state.
What's kind of interesting is the judge here. There was a judge that previously shot down a case against the city of Sunnyvale, and said that the right to possess magazines having a capacity to accept more than 10 rounds lies on the periphery of the Second Amendment right. Basically saying that, the Second Amendment is just specific to a certain amount of rounds and things of that nature. And I hope that they appeal this judgment and take it to an even higher level of the courts. I don't know how all that stuff works exactly, but I would love to see this go to the highest level possible if this is not it, because this is atrocious.
So if you look at a political map of California, the coast is all blue and the interior of the state is all red.
Well, I mean, that goes for any major, because all the major cities are along the coast, so any major city is typically going to be a bunch of a bunch of people that feel entitled and they tend to lean that way. They tend to go, okay, I don't want to work. I don't want to do things like that. I want to have the government spoon feed me. So I'm just going to continue to support what they do to spoon feed me.
Right. They tend to support candidates that support government programs, support handouts, stuff like that. And those same political candidates also happen to be anti-gun.
Right. And that's not to say that everybody in a major city is an idiot. There are idiots on both sides of the fence. We all agree there. Just saying that the concentration of that type of person is in major cities, unfortunately.
And let's move on to the other California story here about the federal court tosses out a challenge to their gun safety law requiring new firearms to mark bullets, meaning that they have to microstamp the firearms, which means that every time it firing pin, as far as I understand, the firing pin has an imprint on it that basically has a unique stamp.
No, they already do that. That's already a rule in California. So I worked in a gun shop in California. Now, granted, it was a little bit a long time ago, but so one of the things they made was they have the safety test. In essence, it's a roundabout way to just using the veil of safety to limit firearms purchases. So in California, if you want your gun to be sold every single year, you have to put that gun on you have to send 10 of them to the state for them to test. And you can't see it because you're on the radio, but I'm using quotation marks with my fingers. And so Glock has to send 10 of every model. And if they change the slide color, if they change anything on the firearm at all, then they have to send another 10 guns. So companies that don't want to send a lot of guns out there, like it mentions in this article, like a quote-unquote Saturday night special, which isn't even a thing anymore.
Well, and Ruger last year, I think it was last year, they said they're going to stop sending any in for testing for any of their lines.
Yeah, because they have 10 they have to send in there to be even sold there. So if they send 10 in every single year of every different model, every different aspect of every model, right? So, and then with them, they came with a shell casing. So at least if there were shell casings found at the scene, they could match it back to this firearm and so forth. But now they want to do it with bullets, which is even crazier because obviously, unless it's a Glock, with the polygonal rifling, regular barrels will have, the marks on the barrel. So.
Now, I think this article is just written by another idiot. And they say mark the bullet. I'm pretty sure this is just microstamping the primer.
Right.
Because to me, I mean, how do you mark a bullet? I mean that's
they already come with
Peter, you bring up a good point because what you're talking about is California has to test all handguns to determine whether or not it's safe enough for California, because there's a safe handgun list for California, and if the gun's on there, you can buy it. If it's not on there, you can't buy it. And the only way to get it on there is to submit those guns for testing. But now every single handgun that goes in for this testing has to do microstamping.
Which is completely ridiculous, because look around the country. I mean, are the guns that aren't on this list magically just getting up and walking around and killing people? Is that what's happening in California?
There's several aspects to this that I think a lot of people are missing, and one is that, look at Smith & Wesson. They axed something like 40% of their line that they were shipping in California because of adding this one process alone. That's just one company. So how many models from how many companies are no longer going in? Now, it's a stupid law, because if you look at crime statistics, you'll see that a lot of the crimes committed are not with newer firearms. They're with second and third generation hand-me-down police trade-ins. They're with your typical Saturday Night Specials, high points, all that stuff. And not to mention where guns come from before they get to their final destination. There was that, we just did, 3-4 weeks ago, Jake, we did the whole airline employees, the TSA employees that were shipping stuff back and forth. So it's a useless law when it comes to actual preventing or aiding in the solving of a murder, but it's a good law for anti-gun people because it stops newer hardware from coming into the state by legal means. So it's one of those things where it's not the short game that they're going to win on that, it's the long game for that one. And that's why something like that has to be stupid fought. That whole paving the way is exactly correct in my opinion, and this is just, for every step that California seems to take forward, they take 2 steps back, as we've just seen with 2 successive stories. But that's just me.
All right. A conversation with an American freedom fighter in Iraq. This is on Truth About Guns. Actually, it was originally on Ammo Land, about a guy named Lewis, a 24-year-old combat veteran of the Afghan War, who decided to go over to Iraq and help the Iraqis with their current problem with ISIS and the current terrorism in their country. So one quote here is, I couldn't sit back and watch what was going on in Iraq. I just got out of the Marines in December, and when things started popping off, especially in Iraq, I knew I had to go and do something. We left Iraq too early, and it didn't adjust to peacetime too well. And then another quote here from him is, this is what I wanted to do. The Iraqis didn't deserve to suffer like that, especially with someone like me who has the mental aspect, the physical ability, and the mindset to do something. I was willing to go, and I had the ability to do something, so I had the responsibility to do something. So essentially this guy flew into Germany as a tourist, then he traveled to Kurdistan on a visa, and then eventually through Kurdistan, he got into Iraq.
By lying, which was awesome.
And so he's basically over there as a Christian militiaman, helping the Kurdish army fend off ISIS. So what?
I think it's. I think it's awesome. The Kurds, every Kurd I always met was really cool. And so when I talk to really awesome. So when I talk to foreign nationals, I don't know what they're called, Iraqis that live here now. I talk to the first thing I'll bring up is Kurds. And if they like Kurds, then I'll like them. If they don't like Kurds, then I probably want to chop them up in little pieces and leave them in a gutter somewhere. That's my standard of judging people. But Kurds, every Kurd I've ever met was awesome. So, I have nothing else to go off of. But that being said, this dude is crazy. This guy, there's no support. If they get him, they got him. He is way out there. I wouldn't even you either have to be addicted to combat or literally, they have those patches, and you see on our Instagram, give no Fs or whatever it is. No, you're in your bed or in your bathtub on Instagram. This dude is not on Instagram. He doesn't have a patch that says risk takers. All right, the dude is he doesn't even is way beyond that. I mean, he doesn't have a T-shirt that says risk takers. All right, they wouldn't even know what to do with this guy if he was in the same room. This dude is out there, and he's awesome.
It takes a special kind of person to do something like this.
Yeah, he's not a 3%er. He's a .0003%er. He's crazy.
I mean, there are people like this that are trying to go over there from the States now and kind of put together small militia groups and things like that to fight this because, they feel that the governments around the world are not doing enough to stop this threat. We as American people look at the ISIS threat as a serious problem, and a lot of our government officials just kind of brush it off. And we were warned early on, by our military leaders, if we leave Iraq too soon, we will have another huge problem on our hands, and here it is. And now we've got good people over there trying to do what they feel is right and fight. It's really honorable. I think it says a lot about their character.
For sure. I mean, he's doing this, from a Christian perspective, trying to help these, people just, almost as a armed missionary or something, and
machine gun preacher.
Yeah, like the machine gun preacher, almost. So I don't know. I think a lot of these countries, not just Iraq, but Africa and stuff like this. I mean, if our government's not going to do something about the atrocities going on over there, I think they should at least allow people like this to go over there that are willing to risk their own life for good.
He's got awful furniture on that AK.
That's the thing. He's got to bum an AK, and he's got to even provide his own ammo. It said he got over there, flew over there with his own ammo somehow.
As a member of the press.
Yeah.
But
if that's what you want to do with your life, he's got a huge set of hangers. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Huge set of hangers.
All right, incredible. 3,000, almost 300, 3,600 yard rifle shot. And you guys play this video that was out on YouTube World.
I like Dustin Ellerman's take on it. He said, "Really great shot. Super overproduced video, but really great shot."
Yeah, it's with modern calibers today and modern equipment, these shooting that far is not that difficult. The dude calling wind is the bomb. That's what I'll say. That dude is like a ninja.
And it's funny because it says, if you look down in the little comments at the bottom, Peter, I was just going to say, it was a 375 SHATAC for those of you at home that want to visualize what kind of rifle is going on here. But somebody said, let me see, I know the 375 SHATAC is more than capable of making that shot, but it takes a very good marksman and spotters to make it all come together, especially on only the third shot. We're talking a 3-foot round target. Bullet travel time is over 7 seconds. That means you can literally take the shot, pull out a smoke, put it in your lip, ask your buddy for a lighter, light it, take a drag, and then hear the ding. That's how long that is.
How cool a video
but longer than
would
that,
that
because
have
it takes 7.5 seconds for the bullet to get there, and then it takes
a 100-meter shot.
then it takes even longer for the sound to come back to you because it's traveling at only 600 miles an hour.
That's
Way
even
slower
if you
than
hear
bullet.
the sound. I mean, 2 miles out,
Yeah.
it's got to be a clear shot for that sound wave to make it back. I mean, the 375 Shizak is a huge, huge round. Do we know if that's a proprietary round or is it based off of some other case?
No, it's proprietary.
Okay.
But here's the thing: is like you always see two things. One, if you have I'm sure that gun, just looking at it, is less than a 1 MOA gun. So at that range, he's still probably supersonic. So if even if it was a 1 MOA gun, say there's no wind, say pretend there's no wind and we're in a windless environment, a 36-inch target at 3,600 meters, that's pretty much the size of that target. So I'm sure that's like a half MOA gun at least, to start with. So that's double the size of the target you could normally hit.
Palma, are you trying to say? I'm confused. Earlier you said that it's not that hard to do. Now it sounds like you're saying that it's really hard to do.
So Ebb's whole statement was how long that bullet flight was.
No. I'm saying the calling the wind that far is insanity. The fact that dude got him so close in one shot, that guy is a magician. Or he's like a ninja. That dude calling the wind.
Ninja's better than magician.
Ninja, magician, whatever it was. That dude calling the wind was the bomb.
He was a ninja wearing a magician's hat.
So in case you haven't seen the video, you're not gonna watch it. Dude shoots, boom, round goes off. We wait a good amount of time, and it hits magically hits a red rock to the right side of the target. I'm probably about 5 feet or something like that. Dude calls wind that far, which I don't even know how. I wouldn't even, I'm a Marine sniper. I would not even know how to call wind that far. I wouldn't even know how you would manage that. Somehow.
Think really hard.
No, I don't even know. Even if there was smoke everywhere and you could see it, I still don't think I could do it.
Here's what he did. He had kestrels every 600 meters. And so he wasn't even spotting the target, he was spotting the kestrels.
Yeah, but you have a 7-second flight time. We blow all crazy. Even if you shot, you called wind perfect, you're a ninja. And
We've already established the ninja principle, so the kestrel idea isn't that far-fetched.
Hey, Peter, do you think you could make this shot?
Well, absolutely.
Depends on who's calling it, right?
If that dude is calling wind for me, absolutely. That's awesome. Right. Say you had a half MOA gun, and that's half that. So you could hit a 20-inch target with so it wasn't that crazy.
Let's do it. Abs, you wear your magician's hat, and Cash, you dress like a ninja. And
Kestrel.
The spotter is the bomb in that one. That dude is awesome.
Yeah.
I
need 5 more kestrels.
Smith & Wesson Q3 performance good, projects a much better future.
This is the boringest article I've ever read in my life. We need that guy on here. Who's that one guy from whatever Freedom Group to come on to talk about it? Remember him?
No. Yeah. We're talking about Smith & Wesson, not Freedom Group. So,
same thing.
They profited $8.1 million in the third quarter and had $27.7 million so far for the fiscal year 2015. So according to yesterday's filings, so net sales total $130 million, a decrease of 10.5% from the third quarter last year. Firearms net sales totaled $124.5 million, decrease of 14.7%, blah blah blah. So they're looking better than the last time we brought up Smith & Wesson's income reports, which were pretty miserable, as well as Ruger's are way down as well.
What's changed since then? We went over this.
Did we?
Come on, think, guys.
This isn't a quiz. Tell me what changed.
Yeah.
So they acquired that accessory company.
Yeah. Accessories are big right now. That's what the people keep saying to me.
What was that company that makes the lead sled and all that?
Caldwell.
Yeah, who owns them?
No, I don't think it was Battenfeld Technologies. I don't think they bought them.
not them, but it was like along that that same accessory market.
Yeah.
They had like
Yeah.
17 different brands underneath that umbrella. So you
Right.
buy an accessory market, all your margins.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
accessory margins are way better than firearm margins. So
Yeah, like if F3 Tactical doesn't even sell guns because it's like, what's the point?
well, I mean, I'm right there with you because I think it'd be cool to, own my own gun store someday. But yeah, I don't really, the profit margin for your average gun store is just pathetic. So unless I can do it a completely different way than everyone's currently doing it, I'm probably not interested.
Yeah, I think a lot of people mistake that. When I used to work in a store, I used to get the question, "Hey man, can you cut me a deal?" And it's like, no, there's literally not any money in there for me to cut you a deal.
Yeah.
I can help you out on something else that isn't a gun, but people don't realize there's very, very little markup, between 10 and 15% on a gun. And that's like just barely enough to cover overhead, if that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why that's why most gun stores have very similar pricing, is because there's not a lot of flexibility. And if you see a store that's like drastically less than another, it's either one store has incredibly high pricing, or like Peter said, or the other store has incredibly high buying power. Like some stores can go out and buy a pallet of rifles, and because of that, they'll get it at a better deal, and they'll be able to pass that on. If a store cannot necessarily do that, they don't have that kind of buying power, you're not going to see the same deals. And that's not to say that they're bad or good in any other way. It's just, they may not do business in that way. They may not swing a lot of money at one type of thing,
It's almost sad because I haven't purchased a firearm in a gun store in a while, in like maybe a decade or something like that. Like when I have a dude who could do an FFL for me, transfer, and I could get it off a gun broker anywhere else. Like I think it's kind of like, or private sales and things like that. I just think that like it's almost almost getting to be an archaic form of purchasing a firearm. It's like there used to be vacuum cleaner salesmen to come to your door, but they don't have them anymore.
Right. I mean, that's not far off, man. That's really not that far off.
I hate to say that, but
we should have firearms salesmen that come to your door.
I'm going to go to California right now.
All right, let's talk about university campus carry. There's an article of Nevada University, UNLV, published an opinion article contending that until concealed carry holders are allowed to carry their guns on campus, only criminals on campus will be armed. Shocking, I know.
I just want to comment real quick. The image on this Breitbart article shows gun-free zone sign, and it has a needle and a revolver in it. And it says it doesn't say gun and drug-free zone,
right?
Because it's college. Get destroyed, right? Right? I mean, come on, seriously, do all the heroin, but guns, no, not happening. Unbelievable. All right, continue. I'm sorry.
And then companion article to it out of Free Beacon is gun control advocate says campus carry means giving guns to rapists. So we have both ends of the spectrum here.
Wow.
So okay, I thought of this the other day because actually, it's I don't know. So a girl was sexually assaulted on LSU's campus by a group of males, and from where it happened, it's within rifle shot of my house, which is not on campus but close. So what happens if I were to see that through my reticle and to smoke check those dudes, right? Would I get in trouble for having a firearm? Well, I couldn't get in trouble for having a firearm on campus because I'm not on campus. Right.
Don't we have a video in the Full Auto News segment about this? I think it's titled "Self-Defense from Solid Snake."
Yeah, right. Well, Solid Snake did he? Oh, he did have a sniper rifle. That's right. Yeah. I'll wait for that. But I mean, it is like it's crazy the amount of females that, how we talked about many times before, the amount of females getting into the firearms community nowadays compared to how it used to be. And, I've seen a lot of them because they're either afraid of a boyfriend, or they're afraid of where they are, or they're not secure where they are. They can feel like they can't defend themselves. And so they want to learn about firearms. They want to carry and want to do things like that. There's a lot of females that are doing it for that reason and no other reason alone. And the fact that it is truly the great equalizer, and they can, defend themselves if anything else. Like if a girl pulls a Glock on me, whatever you want, you know what I mean? Whatever you say, just don't shoot me in the chest, please. You know what I mean? So, I mean, the fact that going back to it, the fact that this is putting guns in the hands of rapists, you know what I mean? At least if a girl wants to carry on campus, she's on equal footing as her rapist. You know what I mean?
Right, but that's not what they're talking about, because the quote from the article says, "We're talking."
Is that
about...
Whitey laughing at me, huh?
I know. We talked about it for 10 minutes. That's not all we're talking about.
I'm going on the quote here. It says, "We're talking about why shouldn't a woman be able to carry her gun and protect herself? But if you're going to give her a gun, you also have to give the rapist a gun."
Which is
Have
fine.
Have to.
Yeah, they're just handing them out. Rapist
Okay,
walks
it's
on
not
campus,
fine to
here's your
give
gun.
rapists guns.
Here's
That's
your
not what I'm
gun.
saying. I'm saying clearly, if they're raping people, they don't care about laws. That's you guys. You guys are just.
The follow-up article is the best retort to all of this, and it's the first paragraph. So, possession of a firearm by a person convicted of rape, which is a felony, is punishable by 10 years in prison. Giving someone convicted of rape a firearm is also punishable by 10 years in prison. So therefore, this law student, God bless her, hopefully she's somebody's public defender that's going to jail for a long time because she won't be able to find work anywhere else. When you say, well, if we want women to defend themselves against rapists with firearms, we have to give rapists firearms too, clearly doesn't understand simple law, which is you can't give a felon a gun.
Or simple logic.
Well, no, they could be a rapist and not a felon. They just aren't
They
caught.
haven't been caught yet, then how do you know they're a rapist?
I mean, what goes through somebody's?
I mean, I don't know.
Hold on.
They
What
rape
the hell goes through somebody's head when they go, no, nobody can have guns, but if we're gonna do this, everybody has to have guns, even the rapist. Seriously, you mongoloid? What the hell?
I'm not saying that it makes sense, but it makes sense that somebody says that.
You mongoloid.
Yeah, I got in trouble for saying that the last time. I had to stop saying that and the R word. All right.
All right. White House says NRA will save cops' lives. And then companion article to this is police say Obama bullet ban isn't needed. AR-15 round isn't a threat.
We talked about this last week.
Both of those are lies.
Both of them?
I would consider a 5.56 round a threat. Never.
They didn't say that. They said M855.
That's a threat too. I don't want to be shot at 22. A BB gun. I don't want to be shot by a BB gun.
Yeah, it's a shot. Shut up.
That's a threat to me. If you point a BB gun at me, I'm going to shoot at you.
As your counsel, Peter, I advise you to tread lightly moving forward.
I'm just being silly.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a shocker.
Yeah, see how far that gets you in a court of law.
Judge, I was just being silly.
I'm just saying that if I got, an email from Jake saying that I'm like a gun-grabbing libtard or whatever that person said because I didn't think everyone should have automatic weapons, I'm just saying Peter might want to slow his roll because it could be perceived.
Well, if somebody perceives that it's ridiculous.
Oh, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Because I don't even think that you should have guns for fun. People are like, oh, I have guns for fun. That's not why we have the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment is not for you to go out to have fun. The Second Amendment's only function is to kill other human beings.
I would like the audience to know that Peter Palma has been steadily stroking his AR for the past 45 minutes while playing with optics and repositioning, stuff that he hand-painted himself for arts and crafts time. Because it's not a hobby, it's made for killing people.
This is made for killing people. This rifle is designed to shoot other humans in the face, and that's it.
Peter, the hole you are digging is bigger than you can fill.
We're gonna
Can
be
I-
pulling
while-
dirt out of other graves to fill yours.
While he's using the trencher, I want to throw the word enthusiast in there. So I'll just.
I'm not very enthusiastic about any of this talk. So let's
You
get back
brought
to
it
the
up,
show.
Jake.
Yeah, you started this.
Iowa mother teaches
You drew first
baby
blood.
wearing gun carrying workshop.
Nothing's over. Nothing's over until Peter says it.
So, Melody Lawyer is a mom and firearms instructor, and she's teaching a workshop on how to safely carry your guns and your children at the same time.
I think Mrs. Whitey told me about this.
I'm going to need the guys with children to chime in here.
Well, John, I sent you that pregnancy,
Listen, I know I'm fat,
thing
but
you wear, and so you can simulate, motherhood.
You want to talk about it?
I can't talk because I'm biting my tongue right now.
Well,
trust me, that will work out better for you in the long run.
If you have a mother, here's the reality of this: if you have a mother that carries a concealed firearm and has an infant that is constantly on her person, you have to make a couple of decisions. One, if you decide to carry your firearm, are you willing to make yourself and your child a target when you start shooting? Or two, do you just choose not to defend yourself when you have your child with you? What is appalling about this other than mom gets shot or stabbed or whatever with lethal force, is no longer a mother to the child or tries to defend herself while she's being attacked, and mother and child perish.
This
The whole-
is sad.
The whole purpose of this is I'm going to defend my family. If I'm carrying an infant, I'm not going to throw the baby down, or I'm not going to use the baby as like a baton to toss between me and the attacker or something like that. I'm not trying to sound like a jerk or harsh or anything like that, but if the mom has a kid and she's got to be able to get to that, she's probably still going to have the kid. And I think that's what the purpose of this is.
Unless it's like in a baby Bjorn, you could probably that would be the hard, because carrying my kid in the baby Bjorn, I was like, man, if somebody attacked me right now, what would I do?
Well,
There's an infant on my chest.
Yeah,
Right. That's no good.
No, that's no bueno.
hard.
So tactically think about that. If you're going to carry and you have one of those, don't use that.
No, I get it. Ballistic baby Bjorns.
Yeah, there's obviously an interest in this, though. Like if you go to the article and you look at the picture, here's Mrs. Lauer giving instruction to other mothers in the room. And there's like 5 or 6 other women in the room that are there listening, because it's obviously a question they have, or they want to know how to address this or whatever. So there's some type of need, need in quotes. I guess you determine.
I think Snake should have been there to also provide instruction.
That's something.
I understand what Ebbs is saying. I totally agree. There's a niche there that is looking to be filled, and good for her on filling it. I'd be curious to see what that quote unquote curriculum and what her ideas and tactics, so to speak, look like, because I'm right there with Peter. If you're wearing a baby Bjorn, you're instantly wearing a baby shield, and that doesn't fly well with me, because no parent in their right mind wants to put their child between themselves and a bullet. If you have a baby on your back, you are kind of forced to backpedal, so to speak. And even then, some 9, some of the heavier or crazy freaking defense rounds, those will go through and through, which means your child is still at risk. So I'd be curious to see what she's actually doing. I know there's a video attached. I don't know if that gives away quote unquote curriculum, but it's one of those things. It's like a pinkicism. Nobody wants to hear you say it, but you go ahead and say it anyway, and it makes some people just go, it's too ugly, it's too gross, it's too weird, I don't want to talk about it.
Right. But the reality of the entire conversation is, what do people think carrying a gun is?
Right, it's a responsibility.
Is it
No, go on. I think that
well-
like women would go if if you ever seen it and you jack with a woman's kid, she goes nuts balls, like crazy, like they should give.
Like Mama Bear comes
Yeah, like
out.
Mama Bear stuff. Like I watched their high-speed chase one time, and like the dude TDs, he crashes his car, and like another car pulls up, and you're like, what's this about? And like a woman gets out and pulls the dude out of the car, the dude who was like the perp driving and crashed the car, and just starts beating the crap out of him. And the cops have to come and like hold this lady out, and like she had her baby in the car, and he like just drove by and got too close, and she didn't even see the cops. She was like, I'm gonna like kill this dude. And so, like, he crashed, and she just drove. She was, like, chasing him, in essence. And then, like, so I really think I want to get in on this training. I want to see this happen.
I think Josh made a great point about the curriculum. We see so many people out there that call themselves trainers, and they're really just a hack with a little bit of NRA certification or something like that. And I don't know enough about this woman to know if she's legit or if she is a hack. But I'd love to see this in action. I'd love to kind of watch somebody that has a lot of experience with defensive training and teaching and stuff like that. Kind of maybe take somebody else's mindset on that. Let's get somebody like Jared from Rockwell Tactical. And let's give him. He's got a few kids of his own. Let's give him something like this and see how he, decides to take it. I think that'd be a really interesting course.
Yeah, have him on and pull this story back out, Jake. There's your solution to this.
On a serious note, has there been like documentation of people that actually had to defend themselves with their children present? That's where I would start to see like what obviously that's had to have happened. What are the bad outcomes? What are the good outcomes? And what did the people do to help push towards those good outcomes? What were the actions that they took to do that?
There's that, and the fact that as our industry and community continues to grow and become stronger, we're going to see more of this. We're going to see the need for this become greater. I had a conversation with Natalie Foster, who's on the show, the other day when I was on my way back from New Hampshire, and I said, the female sect of the firearms community, that sub community is growing stronger and stronger and stronger, and because of that, the entire industry is growing. And we talk about this kind of stuff all the time, and being that we're seeing new and different kinds of firearms owners take action and want to defend themselves, this is actually going to become a real thing. In 5 years' time, this could become commonplace, and perhaps this woman is the start of that. Who knows?
And people are going to let us know what they think. I mean, anytime we say something stupid, that people write Jake to the show and tell us what kind of idiots we are. So, I mean, we're guessing now what people are going to say, but no doubt one of us is going to be strung up for this.
My inbox will be filled tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't. After Peter's comments so far this show, none of you have anything.
It's been overshadowed.
I don't think. What did I say that was that actually?
You said something about chopping people up earlier. You said something about
No one should have
people
guns
in the face.
There was also
out of context.
There was also the sniping the rapists, I think, was in there too.
I mean, what's wrong? Bring me somebody who doesn't think that we should snipe rapists. What is like?
That's a fair point.
I don't have
a point there.
It's a great
All
visual.
right, well,
I wish I was there.
You can support quality content like this by shopping our Amazon affiliate link by going to thisweekinguns.com, looking for that Amazon banner, or you could also bookmark firearmsradio.tv/Amazon, and I have a fun link in the show for the tactical ninja side of you, which we have some articles in this next segment where we can point you to some good training. But yeah, the Fury Tactical Q-Bar kicks self-defense control device. Basically spikes that go in your shoelaces. That's right. And these things are selling. I can't believe how well these things are selling on Amazon.
Can anyone buy, like, are 13-year-old kids buying these?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's okay.
I mean, to give you, some
Awesome.
Yeah, 227 customer reviews. I mean,
It's like followers of share pages on Instagram.
yeah. Anyways, we are to the full auto news segment. Stories the real media won't talk about and other crazy stuff. This is where we each pick a story of our own, and I think Peter Palma has already picked one.
Yes, yes.
Well, we are all jaded enough to pick one and share it with you.
Yeah. This one I want. Here's the title of the article. Man says he's a werewolf, comma, pleads insanity and shooting death of neighbor, comma, a suspected vampire. Right? So the dude is a werewolf, but his neighbor's a vampire, which makes sense if you've watched.
And so why does law enforcement need to get involved with this? This is a blood feud that's centuries old.
Yeah, well,
right?
You're speaking because you've watched those movies where they glitter. What is they called? They were filmed here even. I didn't watch it. I can't remember the name of it. Like they're sparkly vampires and stuff.
Yeah,
it's called Twilight.
Twilight. Right. So, but the reason he got convicted is that he actually killed the guy with lead bullets, and if he really truly believed he was a vampire, he would have used wooden bullets. Stake through the heart.
Wooden? I thought it was silver.
No, silver kills the werewolf. So if he wants to commit suicide, he has to use a silver bullet. But if he wants to kill the vampires, he needs a wooden stake through the heart, and presumably wooden bullets through the heart would have worked as well. Since they were lead bullets, he got convicted of murder, and now he awaits trial.
Just for the record, in a previous life, Peter Palma was Johnny Cochran. Good Lord. Infallible defense.
I would love to interview somebody on schizophrenia and just keep going and going. And
That's horrible.
There's actually a guy who lives down the street from me who's schizophrenic, and he has a book called Brady's Poems, and I have it. It's on Amazon. You could use the affiliate link to purchase it. Right? Schizophrenic guy, and it's crazy. It's crazy stuff. But if you read him, it's like, who thinks of this stuff? But it really would be nice to just talk to these people.
And it would be nice. So, Ebbs, what do you have for us?
I liked Peter's story.
All right, John.
Ready. I called it.
Here's the kicker. I can't connect to the show notes right now. It says trying to connect. I've never seen this ever before in my life.
Do you just
hold on.
Do you want me to bring up Solid Snake, or
I did watch a video. This is a short one.
Somebody needs to do the Solid Snake, please.
Yeah, Ebbs, the Solid Snake is all you. So this one is called Instant Karma. Brick thrown by thief bounces off window and hits him in the face. So it's like a 10-second video, and it's this guy out on the streets like a security camera. And he's walking up to a Mercedes, and it says in the corner he had already tried with smaller rocks, so he goes and gets a brick, and he tries to throw it through the window, and literally the thing bounces off, catches him in the face, and he just hits the ground immediately. So imagine trying to throw a brick through a window that you couldn't break. You're not just gonna kind of lob it at it. You're gonna launch the thing as hard as you can. And imagine having that same force thrown at your face. It just, like it says, instant karma. I love this kind of crap.
All right, Ebbs, Solid Snake.
So Solid Snake is this self-proclaimed self-defense guru who talks like that scam artist self-defense guy from Napoleon Dynamite. And it's really spectacular in an awful way by the way that he talks about defending yourself basically through offense. Pick somebody who you think might attack you and kill them, and then hide the body.
Like sniping rapists.
It's not like that. It is like that. And you gotta go to the show notes and watch the video. It's really funny, but if you don't have a sense of humor, don't watch it. That's.
I'm pretty sure they're not still listening to the show if they don't have a sense of humor.
They might be making a list of things that
They're typing their email still, their hate email.
Oh, there's something else I can add.
Yes. I hate him.
What? Why does everybody sound that way?
I don't know. It's like I'll post a video up like very rarely, and people will like some dude will be like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, whatever. Never mind. I'm like, what are you doing that like you type this like why? Where do you have so much? I want to know how you're so successful that you have the time in your life to sit and type this out, which is total crap what you're saying. And then you want me to take time out of my day to explain to you why it's crap, and then you're just going to keep... No, it's not going to happen. Just
all right, Josh, what do you have?
I have, and I'm actually kind of appalled and happy at the same time. See what would happen if you dropped a nuke right onto your own face.
What?
What? Exactly. It's from a website called Foxtrot Alpha, which looks like it's part of Jalopnik. And apparently there's a website out there. For those of you that want to follow along and you don't have the show notes, you can go to NukeMap. So NukeMap is nuclearsecrecy.com/NukeMap. This, you can literally plug in the megatons and your location via Google Earth is what it looks like. And you can see the radiation radius, the fireball radius, the air blast radius, the at 20 psi, 5 psi, and thermal radiation. Kind of scary until you even start looking at the list of all the pre-programmed nukes that are in there. That's a lot of nukes. So the first one I looked at, of course, would be Tsar Bomba. Tsar Bomba is the largest nuke ever created by Mother Russia. To give you an idea as to how bad that is, it shows me that when I plug it onto my hometown, Dead Nuts Center, it's so big that our buddy Nick up at Weaponcraft in Maine will get third-degree burns from the blast.
Where are you right now?
I'm on the border of Massachusetts and New Hampshire.
Wow.
So third-degree burns, an hour and a half away. That's nuts. But you can also go down to the Davy Crockett, which is pretty cool for all you history buffs out there who like, weapons and whatnot, because the Davy Crockett is also, it's been tested, but it was never actually used because it was just a bit too cumbersome. It's a bazooka-fired mini-nuke. And that's pretty cool, because that affects, like, the island of Manhattan, but doesn't go much further than that. So this whole article is just showing you where your fallout's going to be and everything. So if you want to see, for all you preppers out there, how big a nuke is going to really decimate and where your safe area is, there you go. You got a nice little tool.
Do they have nukes for sale too, or?
Only on Sundays every other February 29th, it looks like.
And they take PayPal.
Is there an affiliate link?
Not yet. Amazon has a weapons policy.
Oh, okay.
So you could choose China's current ICBM, which is called the Dongfeng.
Is it really?
Of course it is.
Really?
Gosh, Jake.
Dongfeng detonate. Tiny.
Now all the hate mail is going to go to you.
Yeah, that's what switched it.
Forget all your shooting people in the face business. No. Dongfeng.
That's what the Second Amendment is for, to kill other human beings, a tyrannical government. It's not to hunt ducks with.
I think this is one of those times where your oversimplification of things may backfire.
I don't care.
All right, that was my pick, the nuke one, but I'll go with $4.8 million in gold bars stolen in armored truck heist off the highway in North Carolina. So shortly after dusk, along a lonely stretch of Interstate 95, armed robbers hijacked an armored truck, tied up the two guards, and disappeared into the night with 275 pounds of gold bars.
Okay, hold on. Let's do the conversion real quick on this. How many pounds?
275.
275.
How many pounds on a gold bar?
Times 12. What? No, that's 3,300 troy ounces. Let's go to Kitco real quick. Kitco.
What are we doing?
We're finding out how much cash conversion that is.
All right, it has $1,200 a share times 1,200 equals. That's $3.96 million.
Well, the title says 4.8 million in gold bars, which I read.
Depends on current rates.
I just went to Kitco and figured it out.
I'm aware of that.
So they're probably
the math.
They're inflating it for the article.
So they're offering, get this, hold on to your seats, offering a huge reward, which it is big, but compared to 4.8 million, they're offering a $50,000 reward for any information.
Okay.
How many pounds of was it? Say it again.
We're past that, okay?
Say, just tell me.
275. 275. So the armored car company says they're insured for $100 million, so they're not too worried about it.
Oh.
Yeah, and the fact that they lied already, they're already committing insurance fraud because I figured it out right now. $1,200 an ounce, 12 ounces in a pound, 270 some pounds. It's a multiplication.
Simple.
It's so simple.
It's simple. It's that simple. It's that simple. Sorry, that's a reference.
All right. Well, if you're listening to this program and have not finished your hate mail yet, you can consider supporting us via Patreon. That's right. Crowdfund this show via thisweekinguns.com/Patreon or patreon.com/week. We have several great companies that have contributed cool stuff for our patrons, which I'll be sending out some random battle boxes to some random people here soon, which include some MS Clean kits, Duluth Trading Company gift cards, GunGoddess.com gift cards, and Duke Cannon Supply Company gift cards, or not gift cards, but battle box filled with 5 big-ass bricks of soap. If you're watching the video, you can see the ammo cans behind me. Easy way for you to support pro-gun radio like this, patreon.com/week, or you can also support the network as a whole by going to patreon.com/FRN. Well, that brings us to the end of the show. Better wrap this up before I get any more lawsuits. Peter, tell us about your MS Clean kit and your Kickstarter.
Can you do me a giant favor? I'm trying to get it to pronounce misclean because that's really what it is.
Oh, I've been mispronouncing it.
I know.
For how many episodes?
I know, forever, and everybody does. And it's fine because in order to, that's how you spell it, ms.clean. Like if you typed in misclean, it wouldn't come up like MISS. So anyway, everything's going good. We have a couple more weeks left of our Kickstarter. We're trucking along pretty good right now. There's a lot of people supporting us, and I have a lot of product I'm sending out to people for support, for help, because I have nothing else. Literally, like my car has 20 miles in it, and I'm dying here. So, but I think I see the light at the end of the tunnel. It looks like we're doing a lot better than our first Kickstarter. I'm just checking it right now. We are, let's see, I think we're like 2 weeks in. We're 42% funded, so we're close there. We have our goal is $60,000. I know it seems like a lot, but half of that has to pay for the actual product itself, and then the other half is the dies and the shipping. So even if we make our goal, we come up with like zero money, but we have our dies paid for, which is a big thing, so we could produce the doubles. So if you go to Kickstarter, you type in MS Clean, which is Miss Clean, or if you just Google Miss Clean, it'll come up there. And Dugan Ashley did an awesome video for us, and it explains the product as short as possible.
It is a really cool video, and so tell us about what you're hoping to do if this gets funded. What's all this going towards?
All of our levels can be, we're not a nonprofit or anything like that, so I only say that, but like all of the levels you can donate to people overseas. So like if you think it's a cool idea and you just happen to have some extra money laying around, there are people that have. I can't imagine what that would be like. But and you just want like the troops to have a better cleaning equipment, we will send it over to them like as soon as possible. So during our first Kickstarter, as soon as we got product, the very first thing we did was send it to troops overseas that people pledged before we send it to anybody in America. So, and we're going to do that again this time. So that's part of our goal, and anything else we could bear, we'll send over there as well. So,
dude, that's amazing. I think that you know, I was watching the video the day you guys released it, and I said, you know, I'm watching along, enjoying the story. I mean, it's a really, really awesome video. And then, you know, that came up, and I said, really, that's awesome, because, you know, you're going back to your roots, man, and that's huge. It's huge.
To be 100% honest with you, it honestly wasn't my idea in the beginning. My whole idea is I did want cleaning kits for the troops, but I never thought of it like that I could do that in my brain. And actually, one of our supporters, one of our funders in the first Kickstarter, sent us a message and says, "Hey, why don't you add a level where people can, in essence, buy one for people overseas?" It had never occurred to me, and we would never have made our first Kickstarter if we didn't implement that level. And it was great because we got to send it overseas first and see if it broke, and we made some improvements. And you know, so it really wasn't my idea to implement those levels. It was a goal of mine, but I never thought to do it that way. And I don't even know who that person was who mentioned it, but it was really up to them, so I can't really take credit for it. But we took that idea and ran with it on this one. So
in the last one, it was a level. How does that idea work on this one?
But we have a level on this one as well, where you'll buy it, the level, and you could get the kit for you, and then we'll send, for every one you get, we'll send one overseas. Or you can just buy, choose a level, and whatever you do, in essence, if we make the Kickstarter, when it's over, we send out surveys asking people what color they want, what lubricants they want, all the details of the things they want. If they had add-on items, we'll ask them what add-on items they wanted. Well, you know, when we fill that survey out, if they say, hey, listen, I don't want any of this stuff donated to somebody overseas, then we will take all of the items that they purchased, we'll put it in the pile of people that go overseas, and then we send it, we find units, it's not very difficult to find them that are deployed right now, and we send them over there. So that's what we did the last time, and that's what we're going to do this time. So if you like the idea, you don't necessarily have to get a product. You know, I mean, you can just get it and send overseas, or you know, you can get, in essence, you could pledge on a kit for $80. All the early ones are taken, so you could pledge on a kit for $80, and you could add as many as you want to send overseas. If you're a rich dude, you could add $10,000 worth of kits to send overseas, and we will. So.
Well, very cool. I just pledged my support. You can check it out. There's a link in the show notes. John, what's going on at I'm with Chaos?
So I'm with Chaos is, you know, like I say all the time, just chugging along. We're trying to get through some content that's been around for a while. We've got a lot of cool ammunition videos going on. And we're gearing up for some big changes, man. Come summertime, there's going to be some big changes, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But in the meantime, still same great content, you know, a lot of fun, you know, good reviews, that sort of thing. We just wrapped up filming the Beretta 1301 competition shotgun review, so that'll be coming out soon. Got some, you know, other cool stuff in the pipe. You know, same old, man. Just trying to make it happen.
Very cool. So you're going to break out the yoga pants, you're saying, when warm weather comes?
I'm currently wearing the tightest pants known to man. No. I don't think I'll be wearing yoga pants anytime soon.
All right, Josh, Four Guys Guns. What's new?
Four Guys Guns is going through some stuff. No, if anyone who listens is an FGG member, we'd like to apologize. We are going through an issue where we noticed that some people weren't getting their care packages for signing up. There was a glitch in the system that was just feeding everyone into the monthly subscription instead of the yearly. So we apologize, and we'll be getting those out as soon as possible. But FGG members is rolling on. We just uploaded a really actually boring as hell to edit, But the final result was amazing when it comes to how to self-correct. One of the things that we wanted to go over was a lot of these beginners will go to the range and they'll shoot and shoot and shoot, and they'll be down and left, they'll be pushing down low, they'll be pushing, up, they'll be all around the bullseye. We wanted to approach what's happening during that shot and what causes it and how to fix it. Nick Smith does a great job with that. And
Nick Smith is a great dude.
Well, I'll let him know. And what it boils down to is that we want to make sure that as beginners, not only are we in perspective as to what we're actually practicing when we shoot that quote-unquote bullseye, are those effective rounds for personal defense, whether it's for your home or your personal self, et cetera, but also how to fix those things. So we're making more effective use of our ammo budget, our time that we have to go shoot at the range, and that we're not correcting the wrong way, which would just helps promote bad habits. So really great informative video, ties into several others that we have up there. By all means, go check it out. You can also see us on 4GuysGuns at all social media, at 4GuysGuns on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and Tumblr. And we also have the IGFS review coming out hopefully this week. The video is all shot and done. It's on the cutting room floor right now, and members will be getting 2 to 3 new videos this month. A lot of traveling, a lot of stuff coming up this year. Stay tuned, man.
Very cool. And Ab's House of Guns. What's up?
Well, the ATF just deposited another $200 check from me, so I've got that.
So you're on the take, is what you're saying.
Yeah. But I'm addicted to NFA stuff now. I blame Adam Peany, mostly. And
Stamp collector!
Yeah, what? Where's my shirt? So I have an SBR AK in the works, and I've got another that I'm still waiting on, and then I have another rifle project in the works. But video is coming, but slowly. Still a lot of review products to catch up with, and working on selling some guns with my father, who's an online gun shop too. So yeah, and I bought a Jeep, and it's emptying all my money. So. You asked, Jay.
Well,
what did you get on a tax stamp for there, buddy?
It was the refile on the Rifle Dynamics SBR AK.
Ah.
And then I had another one put in on an e-file for AR lower because I don't like building rifles now that aren't SBRs.
I mean, really, it makes sense.
So there's that.
I'm crossing my fingers that we get suppressors here sooner than later in Illinois, as you guys say. I did see, I didn't share it this week, but it looked like Iowa had also introduced some suppressor legislation, so that will be interesting to see how.
I mean, things would be quieter for the Amish if they did. So I don't know why.
That's Pennsylvania. Come on.
And Iowa.
And Ohio.
And some of Illinois. Okay. Well, that about wraps up the show. You can send all of your hate mail over to Peter Palma on all of his social media outlets. You can leave your feedback by commenting on the bottom of this video or at thisweekinguns.com/107. And please subscribe via iTunes. Leave us that iTunes review. And you can contribute to the show by shopping our Brownells and Amazon affiliates. Well, that's a wrap. Thank you, John.
Thanks, Jake. I had a lot of fun. I know I'm a little under the weather, but it's always a good time, man.
Absolutely. Ebbs, thank you.
You're welcome, man. Glad to join.
Thank you, Josh.
Muted. So muted.
Damn it. I'm going to flip this desk. Always a pleasure to be here, Jake. Thanks for having me.
And thank you, Peter.
Oh, we're still live. Hey, what's going on? No problem.
Way to give him the respect it deserves. Way to go, Peter.